The final week of the regular season is upon us. We have the Houston Texans, a team that is still fighting to hold on to that number 2 seed. We want the best teams to have the worst chances, right? Whereas the Raiders, yeah, they're 3 seed, Ravens 4 seed. But if the Texans were knocked down a peg, they're not guaranteed that home field advantage. Maybe they lose to a lesser team, right? Like if we had the Chiefs coming up here, I would obviously want them to lose very badly. If there was a team that has a chance to, hop them, let's say, who's the 8th seed, the Bengals, if they had a chance to hop them, we would purposely lose to give them a spot. So we're going to do anything we can to increase our odds, but also in that same time, keep our players fresh because we're going to have that bye week. We don't want them sitting for 3-4 weeks, not playing. The rust will be there. Let's not lose because we're not ready. I'd rather lose because we have an injured player that we really need than to lose because we're rusty. But here we go, week 18. Really haven't seen any breakouts this year either for the most part, which is really disappointing. But the Texans at 11-5 are currently behind the Raiders. Who's the number 4 seed? The Ravens. If the Ravens win, they could hop them as well. Chiefs, they lose. I mean, they might miss the playoffs altogether. Do they have injuries? I'm so confused on what's going on with that Kansas City Chiefs team. Faulkner comes back a week from now. Smith, 2 weeks from now. Let's take a look at that Chiefs team. Who do they got? I mean, I don't think one DT is going to be doing that for you, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. But, yeah, things aren't looking so good. Let's take a look at the players of the week. Don't think we would have. No, Uche, 3 sacks and a forced fumble, actually did get a player of the week. No dev up that we know of, because there are also free dev ups from winning player of the week, so there is a chance of that. We just don't usually see that from ourselves. Looking at the team, though, we've been pushing the ball a little bit with Drake Maye lately. We've been, playing a little less conservatively. It's actually led to better stats rather than more interceptions. The run game, it's been good. It's been back and forth. It's been a little inconsistent, but it's been good enough. And then the defense has been on fire. They've been really good. Cobb has been ridiculous. Wonder what kind of season he's had, because obviously it's been a good couple of weeks, but how was it before that? 11 sacks. My God, the guy's a goon. Year 2, year 3, very good stuff. Double-digit sacks. We love to see it. The best pass rusher on this entire team, which is sad to say, but also factual. The Houston Texans, who are going to be playing at home, do have Derek Stingley injured with a broken hand, and then, of course, their defensive tackle, Dwayne Carter, with a fractured shoulder blade. So we're not the only teams with injuries, it appears. Taking a quick look at the Houston Texans team, X-Factor C.J. Stroud has 90 throw power and basically 99 in all the accuracies, one of the best quarterbacks in the entire league at this point. Running back, Marco Dane still not starting despite all that potential with the speed. Pierce is still going to be the starter, is the better right now player, but still, if you're thinking long-term, I would definitely choose the guy that's younger with some speed. They've been wasting them. Wide receivers, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, and Jonathan Mingo are their top 3. Tight end, Dalton Schultz, very good at catching. Not the best in speed, but can find a soft spot, get open, and he's going to catch it if the ball gets to him. Blake Fisher is really good as an 88 overall. Wilford's a really good 86 overall left guard. Center's not that great. Right guard Pooney is very solid at 84. And then youngster Justice Copper, 6'7", 308, 82 overall. I wonder if we can actually get past him easily with some finesse moves. You can see here, not the best finesse blocker. At least, I guess, really just not a good run blocker. It's a pretty good pass blocker in general. But, definitely should be able to do some things against him if they're running the ball. Pause, sus as hell. Will Anderson, unbelievable. 87 speed in the 90s. Really good finesse. Really good block shed. Right end, Kilgore, another really good power move guy. Then you have DTs Marcus Harris and Levi Drake Rodriguez, who are arguably the worst DT duos in the league. Even if Carter wasn't hurt, this is not a team that is really good at the DT front. Definitely going to look to run the ball inside against them. Oscar Vasquez looks like he might be the wrong scheme, and he is. Tony Carr, very athletic middle linebacker. Middle linebacker, too. Al-Shahir is pretty good, too. And then Christian Harris, right outside linebacker, the fastest on that team, linebacker-wise. Unbelievable coverage ratings. Cornerback Lassiter is a good cornerback, too, but thrust in the number 1 spot with Stingley being injured, but they also have Cooper DeJean, who could play number 2 and is looking pretty good. This is a really good trio when Stingley's injured, when he's healthy, but he's injured right now. They're still looking good, though. Bullock, solid free safety with 90 zone. Strong safety, Justin Reed. Last legs, but fast enough to get it done. Kickers, really low kick power, but yeah, this is a playoff team. It looks like one. DTs are worrisome for them. Run defense is probably pretty bad. That's what we're going to be focusing on. But you could tell why they're a playoff team. Good offense, good skill players there, and then they obviously have a couple of really solid defenders, highlighted by Will Anderson, then when he's healthy, Stingley. Defending the medium pass is probably going to be our number one focus, and then obviously attacking the inside of that defense is going to be our number one focus on offenses. Those DTs, like I said, they look rough. A few upgrade points. One of the biggest ones, Dennis Collins, the safety. Keep going hybrid because he does play a bit of man coverage, but in general, he's a guy that moves around a lot and he's solid. And once again, there you go with hybrid. Very good zone coverage upgrades anyways. 1-to-man, 3-to-zone, 87 zone, 90 man coverage. Just a super good do-it-all player. The only downside he has, well, a little bit of the injury, I will say, but also doesn't really have much block shed. Tackling could be better, but he's done well this year. And then obviously hit power, that's never going to get up there. We're also going to be looking at the stats and awards in this episode after Week 18, so be sure to stick around for that. Warmack coverage ratings, man coverage isn't the best. Block shed, it's getting there. I don't know what I want to do here because you don't get, as an outside linebacker, two kind of upgrades. If you're going block shed, run stopper, you're getting block shed. If you're going coverage, you're getting coverage ratings. I think he's a little bit lower in the run stopper. You also get some better tackling ratings with that usually. 2 to block shed, 3 to play rec, that's a good upgrade. 3 to play rec especially, considering he's only 76 after the upgrade. Trying to catch those screens out when we're not over there definitely could be helpful. Dunn comes in every once in a while, gets the job done with a truck or two. I think we're going to go utilities, good enough blocker as is, and really you could have 99 run block. It's all about speed and spacing, so I'm not too worried about that. Stiff arm, we can get a couple more trucking, deadly in the fullback dive, could get even better. And then, of course, the punter, Dempsey, usually a pretty good job at pinning the defense. Really good player in general. Doesn't really need an upgrade at all, so all of this is just cherry on top, 2 to awareness. Okay, I was joking. I'll take the upgrades. They're like, okay, well, fine. You'll just get nothing then. And we are wearing a couple of special uniforms to, highlight the end of the season. Drake Maye's numbers definitely not as good as you were expecting at all. 28 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Yards are kind of low. He's not going to really hit any crazy milestones there, right? Which is really unfortunate, but the team is still looking as good as ever. Team is on par for that three-peat. Will they do it? Who knows? Obviously, there's been a different look to the team this year. The running backs, have been injured a lot. Brooks has taken the starting job. I don't feel as confident with our run game, but I also think our run game has a bigger play potential than it usually does because of the speed from Brooks. And then the receivers, they're a little bit, inconsistent. Blocking has been inconsistent, but defensively, better than ever. Really good defense. Trust them every single time they're out there. Expect them to do great things, and usually they do. So that's kind of why we're here. For the most part, the defense has been locking things down. Even though we decided this week we wanted to receive first, they still won't let us have it. I don't know why teams want us to continue kicking first. We're 15-1 kicking first. I'm not really sure what the thought process is there, but hey, winning games all that matters. I don't care if we kick the ball first, receive the ball first. We're going to try our best. We're usually going to get the job done. As far as getting the job done goes, not really sure the point. Oh, wow, CJ Stroud's had a good year. Not really sure the point when we look to maybe put Falk in. Is it a situation where we're losing? Is it a situation where we're winning by a lot? Is it a situation where we're taking too many hits? I don't know. We're going to have to play it by ear. Do want to see those guys come out there quite a bit, though, early on. So we'll see what we can do. See how the game kind of plays out early on as well. As we're going to switch to the wrong player. And Nico Collins going to get a free play because of it. Hit really hard by the DBs. McKenzie missed by Collins. On Collins. 3 tight ends in. You'd only assume that it's going to be a run, but you can't confirm. Although it will be. And he tries to shift outside. Can't. Beasley, easy cleanup. Gain of 1. Our corners are talented enough to where you could just kind of press as hard as you can and should be able to get a pretty good run defense. And speaking of pretty good run defense, they only gained 4 when, they had us completely strung out. Looking like a junkie on that defense. Man coverage, 3rd and 5. See Barmore wants to get like an inside push. Can't do it outside. Dials kind of getting cooked up by Collins. Mixing it up, got speed on overall, which is going to be Gonzalez going against Collins. Maybe, I don't know if he can go by height, but we maybe should have went by height if possible. And there goes a really good play by Trenton Simpson, a loss of 1. Texans offense is looking pretty good. I feel like we have to respect them more than most offenses as well. And wide open, Warmack gets beat, and nobody's going to bring down the receiver. He's going to get a first down. Should have been 3rd and 2. Instead, it's a first down. Really no excuse from that other than just not playing to the whistle, I feel. We had one guy throw a shoulder in there, and the other guy was waiting around, expecting that shoulder to be enough. Play to the whistle. Good job, Gamble. We didn't finish the tackle, but that's just us being stupid. Not playing. We're bringing the heat. Let's see if we can get Jeromepkr over there. I mean, ooh, I don't like that. Okay, they did motion him. And that's right over the defense, and there goes Collins. No matter what we would have done there, that would have been a touchdown no matter what. The guy we pulled off was not playing the deep mid. Collins, perfect throw from C.J. Stroud. And we brought the heat, he threw it instantly. But I can't lie, I like the way this game is kind of maybe primed up where, you get beat week 18 against this team, badly even potentially, and then you play them again in the playoffs, but it's a completely different situation. We see it so many times that happens, Would not hate to see that happen, It's like, oh, it's a playoffs, though. This team knows how to win in the playoffs. It's a completely different game. This ain't week 18 anymore, I could see the headlines already, which I'm all about. Also, it'd be nice to get like a 6-touchdown game from Drake Maye. Let's see it. As Brooks going to get about 2 or 3. Once again, very fast running back. A little different than Stevenson. They're going to be pretty on that and gets blasted and drops it. Try to get rid of that ball pretty early. Didn't work out. They're an 8. And wanted to wait for Douglas. Didn't think we had a first down anywhere else. And Will Anderson and company get us with the sack. 3 and out instantly. That's kind of what 3 and out means. Texans ball up 7 at the 30-yard line. We got Gonzalez inside. I hate that they move Nico around. He's tough to stop. Feels wrong. And that's going to be a really bad decision. Forcing it to Nico Collins. Gonzalez easily picks it off. And we'll have the ball at the 39-yard line. Perfect coverage. Safety's all over it anyways. And a really bad decision by C.J. Stroud, who had a great first drive. Not exactly sure what he saw, but we'll take it. Going to go to the big 6'9" tight end Middlebrooks. Gains about 6. He is huge. Wish we'd have saw him in the draft, honestly. Would have maybe been able to develop him. Team we took him off of free agency-wise just did nothing with him. As Brooks spins inside for 3. He kind of twirls inside. Dive play needing 1. And we're going to get some pretty good blocks. Juke move, almost bounced it all the way to the left side. Big run for first down. Corner out, Douglas. They're not going to let that happen. We're going to go to Patton, who catches it and falls through a tackle for 6. I'm going to run it inside. They're kind of shifting over. I don't know if I like that, but whatever. And really good block by Polk for 5. Kind of blocked up 2 with that one. We go back to the run inside. We got one linebacker there, which our wide receiver doesn't go for, but it was smart because the guy was late. We ran right by him to the 2. Now it's Stevenson from the 2 to see if he can power it in. And he easily does. Great blocking. Touchdown, Ramondre. We started at the 39-yard line, so that definitely helps. But, yes, a much better drive. Beasley can't get there. Jeromepkr, as always, the speedster, gets there. Gain of only 2. I also only just realized that Joey Slime missed the extra point. Gotta love that. That's always fun. That's why we do it. We'll never miss an extra point. Unless it's like super rain. We're on that. Not on that, though. That's not our job. To the 43-yard line. First down, Tank Dell. I think it was McKenzie that got beat. It's a tough matchup because McKenzie's like 7 inches taller than him. Maybe even more. And that's going to be dropped by Beasley, who has caught some of the toughest interceptions we have seen ever on this team. Oh, huge opportunity miss as C.J. Stroud came back to it late, got baited, and got bailed. Do we want to maybe get over there? No? As he's going to take the sack. Blasted by Uche. He's having himself a couple of weeks. Ojulari coming in on that one too, just a little later, but good play. Let's keep you contained. Kind of has the go route a little bit. Nice swat. It's tough interception that time. He's kind of over pursuing. Ball's really far behind him. Back-to-back good defensive drives, though. I'd like to see that. Going to have to go for 2 if we get the touchdown. If not, a field goal will give us a 2-point lead. And actually some pretty good blocks after the fact. Good fall forward by Allen to get us to the 33. Nice return. Play action cross. Been running the ball a lot, so this could actually work. And this is going to be a tough throw. And he hits it. Perfect throw, all things considered. Patton breaks off the tackle to the 34-yard line. And there you go. You know what? Now I'm starting to feel like instead of Julio, maybe Hakeem Nicks. Patton's looking pretty good. Really good throw. hit as he's thrown by Will Anderson, and that's just right on the money. Gonna go route. They got a lot of players pressing. I don't know if they can stop a guy like Patton on a press. They can, but we'll still take it. It's a pretty good throw. And it's dropped. I mean, you can't ask for a better throw than that. He let him put it right on the money. Pretty impressed by the coverage there, though. He had no help at all, and it still worked out. Brooks kind of dragging this out for Patton, and it works perfectly. Juke move inside and absolutely tore the ankles of Lassiter up. Read option in a game that technically doesn't matter. Maybe not our best call, but we're going to do it. But it works. Drake Maye to the edge. Juke move inside, gets it. Touchdown, Drake Maye on the read keep. Beautiful run. The guy's got speed. Really good blocking, and finally a read option actually works for more than a few yards. That was a massive gainer. Was going to go down because, once again, you risk him. Doesn't get touched anyways. Beautiful play. Not the cleanest juke move I've ever seen, but if it works, it works. Good play. And we missed another extra point unless we failed the 2-point. Man, we are really selling on these point after tries. If we could stop, that would be fantastic. What to say? If he doesn't move back over, we're not ready. Good job, Ojulari. He's going to take this one. Huge hit there by, who is that? Uche getting involved. Blasted him. CJ Stroud's going to feel that one. We're doing nothing special on either side of the ball. You know, we're realizing, hey, let's just play a, basic brand of ball instead of trying to do too much. And, we're letting the front four guys do their job. Guys in coverage do their job, and it's all coming together now after that first drive, especially on offense. Sometimes I think we do overthink it. Just look at the defense, see what works. Don't run it because you think you need to run it. Don't pass it because you think you need to pass it. Do it because it looks like it's going to work. Like, do I think this is going to work on a run? No. Could it? Sure, but I'm not going to believe in it. Play action. Go to Middle Brooks, who, the big fella falls forward for 5. Deeper look might have been more open, but I just didn't think we had enough time or depth in our pocket to throw that. Douglas gets hit while he's throwing, can't get the ball out to him. We ran that play where the drag was open enough to maybe gain 7 or 8 on 3rd and long. Look for it this time, drag was not open. Screen pass, Brooks is open. And we get some pretty good blocks. Brooks to the outside. If Patton was a little more aware, he might have got that first block that could have given us enough time to get back up to speed. It's still a big first down. Get the lead-off stretch play, which is kind of crazy. And it's a really good set of blocks. Brooks tries to break ankles outside. Best way to get a touchdown there. Gets 12 anyways. Got ourselves a special jailbreak type of screen. And it's going to work to perfection. Tries to bounce it out. But, man, number 41 has just been all over it today. Any big play that number 41's involved in could have been a touchdown. Kid you not. Polk gets overthrown and picked off. That is a layup throw, and Drake Maye wildly overthrows him. Christian Harris, the speedster linebacker, coming up with the interception on that one. Terrible throw. Terrible. Just absolutely horrible. It's a layup. He's right in front of him. Just missing by a mile. Undefendably bad. Like, there's just no defense for that. It's terrible. 5 again. An empty. And there is nobody there, and they just drop it. Both teams looking stupid at times here. How Drake Maye missed that throw, I'll never know. How Nico Collins drops that ball, I'll never know. One's a turnover, one's not, but still, who knows? This drive fails. Who else do you blame? And dropped again, but, that one, understandably. They do have 5, empty backfield, but I do like when we do this DB blitz. And that could be picked off. It will be. McKenzie. Way bigger than the receiver Tank Dell there. Tries to spin, can't, to the 16-yard line. What a sloppy game so far. Moment in time, things look pretty good, but now we got some really ugly plays on both sides. Polk on the sweep. Gets a really good block from the tight end. Polk's not even that fast, and yet he still has a lot of room for about a 10. Looking in the end zone for Brooks. Got a bunch of drags in there. He actually probably did have it, too. And Drake Maye, look at the speed. Back of the end zone. Touchdown, Brooks. Great patience, realizing you have the speed to spin out of it. I thought one of those guys was kind of shifting and shading over to Brooks. Probably did have him right away, but it works out anyways. Great extension of the play. Really good throw. Good opening. Probably should have, you know, kind of faded to the sideline a little bit more. Separate himself from the rest of the play, but it works out. Touchdown's a touchdown. See, what I'm seeing right here is, yes, I could throw this, but by the time I get this ball, unless I throw it far to the left, that guy running up right here gets to him and potentially knocks it out. Didn't realize that he got bumped, and he just doesn't go to him. We have the touchdown, but thankfully, you know, it still works out. The team was pretty much willing to just accept going for a field goal. They're like, we're losing too many extra points here. Let's see what we can do to try to get some of this back. And this time we've learned from our mistakes. Brooks, another big reception play, gets the 2 points. 41-yard line after a pretty big play. Bringing up blitz. DB blitz. We're not on the tight end, but oh, it doesn't need to be. Wow, Stroud slips off of a Taron Johnson tackle. Or sack, really. Saving the drive. And throws it away. I mean, that's a drive saver for sure. We got both of our corners in the zone. Could arguably just run man coverage. We are all over the place, by the way. We should call a timeout here. We got 2 in cover. 2 on the line, and they drop another ball. That's unbelievable. They have now dropped 2 passes. We're going to press because we got 2 in the zone corners. They should both be able to handle their job. Take advantage of that when we have it. Oh, he burned us. That's tough to do, too, because Warmack's fast, but agility is a problem. Gonzalez is now out of the zone, unfortunately. And that could be picked off, and almost picked off by Gamble. Great job by Taron Johnson to knock it away. They're going a little deeper each time, so we're going to cover 4 now. Holding to a field goal is really the goal here. Really never believed that was going to be a run, and to the outside, Gonzalez takes care of business. Huge hit by Cobb. The guy never takes a play off. He just never does. Go Ojulari. Had a little bit of success off the edge. We do get around him, and he's going to get hit as he's throwing into, I mean, what seemed to be coverage. It's going to be a bit of a longer kick. I mean, if he misses this, the field goal range, you know, this field position's not terrible, about the 30, actually about the 38-yard line. And the kick is up and good, though, so they will get up to 10 now. On the return goes Harper. The return average has been dropped a little bit, but I still trust him to get there, and he does to the 30. All 3 timeouts, so we don't have to look exactly deep if we're trying to do something before half here, which, I mean, I think we should. Running back, that's a lot of yards. I mean, that's like 16. Patton deep, probably more of a drag-out type of situation. Bates, pretty good throw. It's going to get him out of bounds for 11. Halfback wheel is a decent play if your guys run the routes properly. Let's see what we got for ourselves. We'll take the running back a little late. Stevenson gets blasted, drops it. Not surprised. Trying to find that deep in. Never opened up. Patton, end zone fade. Douglas. I can't believe. I mean, Christian Harris is crazy. I didn't know he was that crazy. That's a crazy swat. Probably should have taken Polk underneath anyways, but still. Just a really good play. He's open enough, and I couldn't tell if that was almost picked or almost caught. Good 50-50 ball. 4th and 10 from 60 yards out. I mean, they'd have the Hail Mary even if we if we miss this, so might as well go for it. Pretty good kick, I think. Nails it. Wow, both kickers hitting some pretty long ones today. 56 and 60, I believe, which will give us that lead right back that we just had. Kicking this thing deep to end the half. 23-10 with ball. Looking really good on offense now. You know, kind of a slow start for both sides, and then just picked it up nicely. Huge hit by the fullback or whoever the hell that was. Can't tell who it was. All right. Don't really care too much about the rest of the seeding, so let's get right back into it. Allen on the return. Not getting the best of blocks to the 25. Potentially looking at 1 touchdown away from seeing these backups coming in. Got a crazy play here. Looking at all options. And we're going to take that shot, and it's directly behind it and just perfectly picked off by Lassiter. Maybe not our best look, but that ball came out so flat. Patton's out in front of it. Just a terrible throw. Remember I was talking about, like, you know, we're overthinking it at times and, not giving us, taking what the defense is giving us. We come out with that wacky crap. That clown stuff. What are we doing in coverage here? Not playing it, apparently. Really good hit by Gonzalez, though. Power tackling Tank Dell, smaller guy. Enough force is going to bring him down, even if it's a terrible form tackle like it was. Good tackle by Warmack, gains 5. I mean, any running back in space is going to be dangerous, so you can't really play too aggressively when you have no help. Play too aggressively, it's a go route instead, and we're looking at a touchdown. Man, he is cooking us. Huge hit, but he's still up to the 5. I'm going to give it to the wide receiver, Nico. Finds a little bit of space inside somehow. To the 3. They're looking a little predictable right now. From the 3, there's no way this is a throw. Oh, it's going to be a pitch, though. We're not going to get out there, but one will, and that will be Collins to the 6. Loss of 3. And now we lose our safety. Backup safety, but still a safety. From the 6-yard line, one-on-one, Gamble going against Nico Collins. And free rush, Uche. That is too easy. Edmonds will be fine. They'll kick a field goal. From our own 21-yard line, not our best starting field position. We threw multiple... we should have threw that to freaking Douglas. Threw multiple interceptions today. Both of them bad releases. Not really bad reads. Go route. It's a tough one. Drops. Okay. Perfect throw. Drop by Douglas. Nothing else to say. To hit that throw on the money, but to miss the other ones is just insane to me. Bates on 3rd and 13, kind of my primary. And they're on this. He's going to give him a chance, and he catches it! Patton, what a play! Off script, off balance. Always our best attack on offense. D. Patton looking at 1,000 yards if he gets just a 15-yarder today, apparently. What a play by Patton. Of course, ridiculous throw to get that even there. Give him a chance. Stretch play. And we got to cut inside because we're just not getting the edge. Dunn blocked no one there, by the way. I've already said it. It's not about the blocking rating. Doesn't matter what your blocking rating is. Tight end open every day of the week. Will Anderson was never going to catch him. Late the entire time. Still can't believe how bad of a passing season we had this year. It's just so horrible. Stretch play, and we're just not getting good blocks either on the ground. Pre-snap, that was a win every single day of the week, and yet we sold. Patton. Good catch, gains almost 10. Actually, a little over 10. Fullback dive, I don't even feel like Dunn deserves a carry. He can't even block, let alone, what is he going to do with the ball in his hands? Kind of parry people for 4. Patton, they have the outside leverage, but he also has the size on this guy. So if it is, they're not going to. I was about to say, if it really is one-on-one, try to pitch it, wouldn't do it. Douglas gets blasted, and Brooks has to save the day. And no, that was not a pitch that caused that. It was just, he got destroyed after the fact. We'll take Patton. Drops it. I don't know how he drops that, but sure. Someone want to explain to me why you want a big guy again? I don't see it. Throw it early to Bates because he's got that after the catch. Speed! Down to the 1. What a run. He's so fast. And I forgot that one of our touchdowns with Maye is actually a run. So right now he has more picks than touchdowns. As Brooks jukes inside for the touchdown. It's going to be the start of the 4th quarter, up 17 with a 3rd and 1. They love to go with this. And we're all over that. And miscommunication is going to lead to a 4th and 1. Bring the blitz, kind of have no choice. Doesn't take much to get a yard. And that's, a high of throw. You never know. They do get it, but you just never know. Dane showing off the speed. Don't know why he's not their starter, but their problem, not mine. Let's get Uche in there, potentially. Swim move doesn't work. Wow, they got their whole team open in the inside there to the 40. Nobody on Nico is just killing us all game long. Blasted by Collins to the 18. Ormack going against a running back. They're going to motion him again. They've motioned him all day long. Oh, we got blasted, but Pierce is late. Reacting late to the defense. Ranked 4 in takeaways. Have 2 of them today. Gonzalez going against Collins. Right over the middle. Big hit. Gets the first. They're wasting a lot of clock, though. As most teams do. More than us. Better than us. They're going to run the ball even, and he's going to spin off the tackle, stiff arm another, and once again, why are they not starting Dane? I don't understand. With 5 minutes left, they actually kicked it deep, and we get a really good return out of it with Allen to the 35-yard line. But here we are, with some of our backups in, giving them a chance. It's weird to call Stevenson a backup, but I suppose this season makes sense, as there he goes, doing what he does. We made it healthy as far as we did in this game. Put ourselves in a pretty good chance to win. Without the starters, I'm going to keep the guys preserved. I'm not going to push it any further. I need my quarterback. I need my tackles. That's who we benched. Technically the running back as well, but Part of it's just me wanting to see Stevenson, to be honest. Good enough throw to Patton, who will go over 1,000 on the year. Not a great throw, but a good enough one. Stevenson stretch left. And we're not getting any blocks. Makai Becton playing left tackle feels pretty good. I don't know if he's playing well, but feels good. Not really open, but that's a good enough throw, and there goes Polk. If he was touched down, it might be in pounds again. Not going to say it. We tried to keep him in, but didn't work out. Still pretty good drive. Really good throw on the runs from Polk so far. Stevenson fighting through a couple of tackles for 4. Wish there was a little bit better of a direct route outside, but we'll see that inside to Patton, who will score. Pass offense looked arguably better than they did with the starters. So, I mean, obviously a lot of these guys are starters, but still the tackles are out, the running backs out, the quarterback's out. That's almost half the front, starting lineup. D. Patton putting up his 12th touchdown of the year, over 1,000 on the year. Good season. And an interception from Gamble on the defense is going to basically put this one away. Houston not really entering the playoffs in best of terms with a couple of losses near the end of the season. Against some teams they're likely going to have to play as well. They want to make it all the way. 2nd and 4 after a 6-yard run that should have went for no more than 2. Teams are going to be pretty scared when they realize that Stevenson's going to be getting the ball a lot in the playoffs. They think that we've just been sitting Stevenson or not running that much because we're afraid of using him because he's not good anymore. No. We're trying to keep him healthy. It's going to get scary for these teams in the playoffs, let me tell you. Do they think we don't see that he's still really good? Like, do they think we don't see it? How many teams in this league want him as their starter? Many of them. Stretch on first down from the 10 or 2nd and 2 from the 10. And he's just always falling forward. I don't know why. I want a Bates touchdown. Back in the end zone. Give him a chance. Catches it! What a play by Josh Bates, the rookie. Good throw. Falk giving him a chance. What a play, dude. The one guy... that thing was ugly, but the one guy to come up with a jump ball today, of all the players that had a chance, like freaking Patton, and it's Bates. What a catch. For some reason their guy tried to go for the pick as well. I suppose the game's over anyways, but it's not always about how, tall and high you can get up there. It's also about the positioning. What a catch. And there you have it, 44-20, convincing win, even with the backups in putting up 14 points themselves against the, once upon a time, the number 2 seed for the majority of the season. Don't know what's going on with the Texans team, and I don't want to, write too many teams off or discredit what some of the teams in this league have done, but I also got to say, even us, we're not looking the best we've been. This AFC is really looking horrible going into the playoffs. I mean, the AFC just looks so up in the air right now. Like I said, even us, some of those takeaways that we're just giving away, just so dumb. But defense look pretty good. Receivers look pretty good. I have a lot of confidence, going into the playoffs. I mean, look at Falk. Best quarterback by a lot. I mean, these two passer ratings combined is worse than Falk after that one. I mean, a couple of throws on the run, some pressure in the face. Falk definitely looked the best out of the bunch. Let's take a look at the percentage. 56% completion percentage from Stroud, 61% from Maye, but he threw 2 picks. Run game was horrible. Patton obviously had a huge game. Bates with a couple of big plays. Brooks a couple of plays in the receiving game. Pass rush, 1.5 for Uche, 1 for Mojulari, 1 for Roberson, or a half for Roberson. Cool. Gamble with a pick, Laster with a pick, Gonzalez with a pick, Harris with a pick, Greedy McKenzie with a pick. Kicking was clean outside of 2 missed extra points. But in the end, we win nonetheless, 16-1 on the season. Headed into the playoffs with a first-round bye. And for the most part, pretty healthy, especially after these 2 weeks go by. We'll be fully healthy. Still think Bates is going to be the number 1 tight end, though. He's looked the best. Gamble, 90, about to be 91 overall. 92 overall? Okay. I'll take it. 2 to zone coverage. He's now 91 zone, 87 man. Block shed's not great, but he is himself. Take a look at some of the other guys we have here to upgrade. Beasley's one of them. Brooks also another one. Love when the running backs have upgrades. Some of my favorite positions to upgrade. 87 overall for Beasley now. 2 to man, 1 to zone. I mean, he's a really balanced, really good player. Solid. Solid across the board. Always got good linebackers. Brooks, 87 overall. What do you want to do with him? His elusiveness is already really good. But I do want to change the direction up, so I'm going to go elusive again. because I do want change direction upgrades, which we're not going to get. Still gets a break tackle, which is one of the other big concerns. Not a bad upgrade. Then Palmer, the final player of the group. Really good blocking across the board. I suppose his finesse blocking is what you worry about the most, even though he's an interior guy anyways. Gets the scheme fit. Seemingly a good upgrade. 3 to pass block finesse and 1 to run block. That is a great upgrade. We love to see that. But here we are, headed to the wildcard round, which, I mean, we have no business in. We have nothing to do about that. See what the matchups look like. Some of the weekly awards finishes and the yearly awards, obviously. Holy crap, all these storylines as well. We'll have to get into the playoffs. The Texans do drop all the way to number 4. Raiders at 2, Ravens at 3. The 5th seed is the Titans, the Chiefs at 6, and then the Bengals do sneak in the playoffs with the 7th seed. So not the best of performances, but also the very good teams that we're expecting to play. You know, the Ravens, the Texans, the Chiefs, the Bengals. And then, of course, you do have the Raiders in there. Just not quite the records you were expecting from some of them. Looking at the playoff brackets, you have the Raiders and the Ravens versus the Chiefs, and the Texans versus the Titans. On the other side, the Vikings and Bears, Cowboys, Niners, Buccaneers, Lions. A lot of good teams you're expecting to be there, expecting to exist. Let's take a look at the player of the week. Take a look at our scenarios and then go into this more in-depth, wow, what a terrible season, but more in-depth look at the awards and stats across the board. Players of the week, we did not give one up. We did not have one. Take a look at some of our early season, kind of goals that we were set, basically forced to reset. See the video going around this morning? Which one? Did we do that? Surely we did. We were killer. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what our yards average was, but it's got to be way below 75 per. Probably could have done under 50 per. 2,500 XP for the D-line and linebackers. You earn 7 points for establishing an identity as a run sub. Why not the whole team? The whole defense is involved when you're making plays. If we're trying to stop the run, we need the DBs to be good. Otherwise, I can't trust them to stack the box because the DBs are going to get torched if it's a play action, right? So every single player on every aspect is needed. Looking at the next one, though. This one's probably going to be our passing offense. No, our rushing offense, which we definitely did 1,300 yards. We had like 2 guys put up 8+. We should all the experts up. What do we got? Running back and O-line, I'd imagine? I mean, even that. Yeah, so the entire offense. So, yeah, I mean, the run game can only exist if the blockers are good. Run game can only exist if the pass game's at least good enough when it needs to be to, you can't just fully commit to make them kind of hesitate. Of course, we told them about 12 to 14 wins. We had more than that. Yeah, let's see what our XP this time. This should be a whole team upgrade, about 5K, 10K. 4,500 for every player and more staff points, which we don't even really need technically, but we'll take them. Then we have a new storyline for the playoffs. Who's going to be our secret gem? It's going to be Douglas, I imagine. Unless it's backup running back, which, I mean, that's good too. Secret weapon. Bates is technically the secret weapon, to be honest. Yeah, Josh Bates. I agree with that. Josh Bates, I don't even know if he's really much of a secret anymore, but let's... catching's big too. He's been good at catching. Let's go medium route running. That's, kind of his primary route. All right, 5 to boost for medium route running. Really good. That's a nice upgrade. Then we have first round expectations. I don't even remember what the hell the expectations were, but we're about to find out. Oh no. What did we say for AJ Rudd? Yeah, what do you want? Should not have done it because I knew that was what it was going to be. Didn't lose anything for it though, so cool. Let's take a look at the mock draft. If we even have a mock draft board, they for some reason won't show it. Got some other ones. I think we looked at this already, but I'm kind of curious. Likely going to be doing another season. Probably a little bit different. We're going to do 4 games an episode. Kind of separate those episodes a little bit. A little bit of lineman. That guy's not good. Trust me, we will not be drafting that guy. But I do want to see whether we get the 3-peat or not another season because you can see that money, that salary cap, $680. We're losing like 5+ really good players. So the team's not going to be as good as it once was. That's for sure. We'll have some new names coming in and all that. It should be a good time. Let's now take a look, though, at how the season ended for the whole league. First things first, take a look at our team. Way too many interceptions. 29 touchdowns, 15 picks. The backup 4 touchdowns, 0 picks, passer rating of 148.8 versus Maye, who wasn't even at 100. 3,669 yards, 29 touchdowns, 15 picks. Not great. 65% completion percentage is terrible. Rushing, Maye had a couple of plays in there, 5 touchdowns. Running backs, Stevenson was the better of the two, and that's without having that big play potential comparatively. He did have a longer run, but less of a potential of those runs. Brooks, though, with 14 touchdowns, 7 for Stevenson. Stevenson is the better of the two, but Brooks is still a little bit more durable, and that's kind of where that comes from. Way more broken tackles from Stevenson. That's how it works. Way more snaps as well. So Stevenson is the better of the two, without a doubt. Receivers, Polk, he really does not deserve to be a superstar. I mean, he is... I mean, look at these seasons. Let's take a look at these stats. Season stats. First year, great. Second year, not so good, but a lot of touchdowns. Third year, not so good, but decent touchdowns. Fourth year, I mean... it's better. And then this last year was horrible. Genuinely awful. Patton, good enough. Another 1,000 yards, double-digit touchdowns. Don't think he had double digits last year, though, did he? Yeah, he was just under with 9. I mean, this offense, it is a run-first offense for the most part. We spread the ball around a lot, but it's still just like, we got to do better than that. Patton's yards per catch are so good. We just got to get the ball to him. As far as receivers, other receivers go, though, Bates, 330. 15 yards per catch. A lot of potential there. Douglas, pretty bad season. Faulkner, considering, missed a lot of games, would have been 1,000 yards. It looked a little bit better on the stat line, I will admit, but still a little disappointed in the team. Blocking, we didn't give up too many sacks, but we also had a lot of picks, a lot of, bad decisions. D-line, Uche missed some time, but tore it up when he came back and, ends up with double digits. Same with Cobb, Ojulari at 8. Barmore, terrible season. Unfortunately. Warmack, 6.5 on those blitzes, 4 for Beasley. Picks, 5 for Dial, 5 for Gamble, 5 for Gonzalez, 4 for McKenzie, 2 for Warmack and Beasley, 1 for Johnson. Pretty down year for us for takeaways. Usually we're a bit higher than that. Forced fumbles, 3 for Warmack, 2 for Gamble, 1 for Dial, McKenzie, Uche, Ojulari, and Collins. We recovered most of those, 2-1-1-1. And then for the defense, the rest, safety, 2 of them, Simpson and Uche, with touchdowns, 3 for Gamble, 1 for Warmack, Ojulari, and Gonzalez. Kicking, pretty good, but we just missed a bunch of extra points, right? We missed... Wow, you would have had a perfect season if not for those 2 missed. 1 was blocked, but 22 for 22, but missed 2 extra points, which both came in the final game. Dempsey, more of a directional guy, more of a pin than average guy. Returning, some okay returns, 24.3, 25.1, 26 on the averages. Punt return 10.4, which is probably league leading. Looking at the league, though, let's take a look at those passing numbers. Cooper Matthews, 1-year quarterback, second year is looking like the MVP, if you ask me. 47 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 5,100 yards. That completion percentage of 74% is ridiculous. 122.8 passer rating. One of the greatest single game seasons ever, really. Look at some of the other guys. Mahomes was obviously great. Herbert was solid. Josh Allen was pretty good. Jordan Love was really good. Purdy might have actually won MVP. That 41-4 is a ridiculous ratio. And then you look at some of these other numbers. Stroud, 36-10. Maybe, maybe Maye wasn't that bad after all. It wasn't good, but he's kind of, in the middle of the pack there. Really disappointed with him, though. 29-15 is just terrible numbers. The yards are low. It's tough. It is tough. Rushing, though, only 7 guys with 1,000+ yards per carry guys. One of those guys, a 3.8 guy himself. Not really that good. If we would have had Brooks starting the whole year with those touchdowns, might have been in there for Pro Bowl and all that. Maybe still is, for all we know. But average per, rush, Drake Maye's up there, but that doesn't really count. Stevenson, number 1 at 6 per. Walker, 5.5. Brooks, 5.3. So, a good season for our running game. It's just kind of mix it up this year. Most broken tackles goes to Session, 57 of them. Very fast player. Didn't think he would have that many broken tackles. Isaiah Pacheco, longest run of the year, 100. Jonathan Brooks, the other Brooks, 98. 90 for Taylor, 88 for Spears, and then it kind of drops off hard from there. Still, can't believe some of these runs. 100 and a 98-yarder. Really impressive. Did not expect to see that. Yards, number 1, Nakua. Touchdowns, not going to be Nakua. It's going to be Amon-Ra St. Brown with 22. What a year he had. A bunch of guys over 1,000. It's going to be a long time to find, the best of the best. Looking at the best yards per catch guy, though, D. Patton at 19.5. CeeDee Lamb at 18 for the second. Cumberland playing against us, that'll do it. Nakua for 16.8. Devontae Smith at 16.7. And we looked at the touchdowns already. Only one guy in 20s and by far higher than everyone else. Rack players, CeeDee Lamb, 620 yards after the catch. Longest of the year was Trey Palmer at 84. And then we now move on to the blocking. It's going to be hard to tell who's the worst or the best of the bunch because a lot of the low sack guys are going to be interior guys. A lot of the high sack guys are going to be tackles. Actually, all tackles. All of them are left tackles. Some pretty high tackles allowed there. Now we look at the defense. 143 tackles, the leader by Cooper, apparently. Sacks, Max Crosby, third, 23. Bunch of guys with some really good seasons in here. Some of them, some really young players, too. The Rams with multiple guys in the top 10. They had themselves a year. Wait, is that another one? 3 guys in the top 10 for the Rams. Wow. That's kind of wild, no? That's really impressive from the Rams. Interceptions, number 1 goes to A.J. Terrell with 7. Most pass deflections, 17 for Gonzalez, 14 for Surtain. Forced fumbles, Warmack tied for the most. Forced fumble recoveries, tied for Redmond and Okereke. Blocks might be our guy, yeah. I mean, there's not many, so 1 is enough to get on the top. Safeties, same situation. Touchdowns, number 1, Gamble. Kicking, I don't think anyone's going to be as good of our kicker. That 100 is definitely us. Kicking percentage, 3 guys on 100, only one of them even close to, respectable in the 20s is Salai. Longest kick of the year goes to Cade York, which was against us, wasn't it? I'm pretty damn sure it was. But he had himself a really good year, too. Punting, average per punt, the best average is going to go to Durand. The longest punt is also going to go to Cook with a 74-yarder. 4 people were tied with that. Kick returns, how many touchdowns do we see? Yards, number 1, Harper. Allen, number 2. Giving up a lot of touchdowns, apparently, a lot of scores. Garnes, the only guy with an actual touchdown of the year. Punt return touchdowns, none there. And then returning Allen's number 1 with by far the number 1 average. Now it is time to look at the yearly awards, which I got to be honest with you, I don't feel good about us having a chance at it. Looking at this team stats, though, 13th in offense, which is actually not terrible. Number 1 in defense. Second best scoring offense. And then we gave up the least amount of points. So you can see why we are the best team in the league. We're very high in pretty much everything. Let's take a look where we rank passing yards-wise, though. It's got to be pretty low. Yeah, I mean, we're down there. We are like one of the lowest. We are the 6th worst passing offense by yards. Rushing, though, we are the number 30. Pretty good. Points per game, we're number 2. Passing touchdowns, kind of middle of the pack at 33. Rushing touchdowns, top 3. First downs, number 1. So we sustain drives. Might take us a little while to get there, but we do it. Pass defense, we are Fox Sports. We're about the 16th best. Rushing defense, by far the best. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, 718 yards rushing. It's almost less than double, than the next team. Points per game allowed, number 2. Sack totals, number 2. Fumbles, number 4. Interceptions, number 1. So, this defense, big part of the reason why we are here. 100%. Now it's time to go to the divisional round to see who we are facing off against. The Houston Texans, who we just took care of. The Ravens and Raiders win. The Chiefs are out of it already. Not really surprised by any of these necessarily, outside of, I suppose, the Chiefs. I expect them to do well, but yeah, 1 through 4 seeds are the ones moving on. The NFC side, a little bit more upsets. The 5-seed Lions beat the 4-seed Buccaneers. The 6-seed Niners beat the 3-seed Cowboys by 2. And then the freaking Vikings barely holding on to beat the 7-seed Bears. Texans we just beat, looking pretty good, feeling good about our chances. If that is the team we wanted to play, then we kind of slam dunked it, right? We set it up perfectly as we end up taking on the team that we just beat to force them into that spot. As far as some of our upgrades go, we do have a lot of them. So let's get into those real quick, as we'll probably have even more when we do the practice in next episode, the playoff game against that team. Warmack, we kind of did a little bit of block shedding. We'll probably start out with pass coverage, though. See if we can get something crazy with this. 2 man coverage is a nice upgrade. You know what? I like those man coverage upgrades. I'm going to go again. See if we can get another one. Which we sort of do. 70 man coverage now. Really good catching. Solid player. Got a lot of other players to get through here, though. Myers, that's a backup lineman. I mean, I'm happy to have him because I think we're going to need to use him next season. But, yeah, not really too interested in actually seeing what he's like here because, I mean, he's a backup. Don't need to upgrade him. I'll upgrade him on my own. You guys don't need to see that. A.J. Rudd, 3 to finesse move, 1 to block shed. I mean, we're messing him up. Let's be real. We're messing him up, but speed rush is just so good. I got to do it. 2 to finesse, 2 to block shed. You know, the block shedding's crazy. He's really good run stopper, 83 power move. He looks good. He really does. Then we have Middlebrooks, who has 2 upgrade points himself. He is very raw, but he's made some big plays for us. He's come up big at times. See what that vertical threat does. 3 to catching. Huge, because his catching's not very good for a tall dude. Then we have another vertical threat. More catching. 2 to medium route. 77 catching now. I mean, if somebody would have started this guy right away, developed him hard, who knows? Could be looking at one of the greatest tight ends of all time. 6'9". It's already the makings of some special skills. 94 overall for Faulkner. I can't believe the kind of guy he developed into. Problem is, can't afford him. And even if we could, I really like Bates a lot. I think Bates is the #1 tight end going into this playoff run. I think he's going to hold that job, I think. It's tough because Faulkner's very good. He really, you know what? I like the dependability of Faulkner, man. Recency bias is king, but we can't deny that Faulkner, you know, he had a good season. He really did. Brooks still trying to get more change of direction stuff, so we're going to go elusive again, which is going to give him 2 to juke, 2 to spin. So he doesn't get change of direction, but I think that solidifies him as good enough. I think we're going to go trucking from now on out. Maybe we get change direction and trucking as well. Maybe we get lucky. Roy Cobb, always going to do speed rusher. It's just the best thing to do. You're going to get block shed. You're going to get spin, you know, finesse move. Or not, but he gets an injury, which is pretty cool. What is his ratings anyways? 292 to finesse. 86 block shed. Good power move at 86 as well. He's just so balanced, so good. Best player on this team, D-line wise. Blackwell, I mean, he's a lineman, but he is a starting lineman. We're going to go with run stuff. So power blocking, probably going to be our best bet here. Really good pass block power, +2. Puts him at 87. Really good guy across the board. Only problem is his strength, which they don't really give you those upgrades anymore. Collins, he had a really good upgrade recently with hybrid. Going to keep that trend going. Maybe get a +2 to man, 1 to zone. Or a plus nothing. We do get a bunch of tackling, play rec, all that kind of stuff, which is nice. 72 tackling, starting to get there, considering he's a former corner. Wyatt Teller, going to get one of his last upgrades ever here. He's a pretty good power blocker already, so I guess we'll go finesse just in case he finds a finesse guy. Don't want to get cooked all game long. That's a really good upgrade. We'll take it. Wish that +2 was pass block finesse instead of run block, but it's fine. Uche, who's had a really good tear of it ever since coming back from injury. Going to get himself a speed rusher upgrade. 2 to block shed, 1 to finesse, and then there's that upgrade we're hoping Rudd would get. +5 to power move. Like, where does that come from? That's kind of how the series started, too. Had an upgrade like that with him early on. Palmer, we keep going with agile because power blocking is already pretty good. He gets a couple of upgrades here. They're not bad. And then we have a whole bunch more. Some of these guys, like I said, we're just going to do automatically, and you don't need to see it. But some of these guys are still starters. Trenton Simpson, obviously one of them. 2 to man, 1 to zone. He's already pretty good across the board. We've developed some really nice linebackers here. Then we have Harper. Let's go playmaker with him. I mean, he's more of just a straight-up return man, but 80 overall now. Let's see if we get some juke move or something like that. 3 to deep, 2 to release. I really want a juke move. He got 1, which isn't great. If he had, like, quick jukes like Allen did, I mean, we're looking at a deadly return man. Then we have Bates, who's obviously taken his opportunities in stride and's looked great. 77 overall now. 3 to catch in traffic. Great upgrade there. Looking good. Deep route's not great, but looking really good nonetheless. Super fast. Then everyone else, for the most part, is basically a backup. We'll go with Falk just because he had a really good game for us last week. We want to see that that development. Not going to get an upgrade here, but technically a 75 overall already. 3 to deep accuracy, which puts him at 80, 79, 82. So very balanced. If he has to come in, feeling confident with him. And then, like we said, pretty much everyone else is a backup, so we'll take care of those on our own. Obviously, Dunn's not a backup, but he's a freaking fullback, so what does it matter? He played terribly last week. Just no fumble, or no blocking at all. Lead blocking was terrible. Regardless, though, we know who our opponent is. The 11-6 Houston Texans team that has been losing a lot of games and just lost to us 44-20. I like our odds. hopefully that means we're going to be championship bound once again, but also don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. So we'll have to see whether to be on our best behavior, and if we play even remotely close to what we just did, which wasn't even our best work, I like our odds. I like our chances. Anyways, you enjoy this one? Maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, I do appreciate continued support on the channel. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel, PK Plays, for non-Madden content. And that is going to be it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you come back for next video, but until next video, see ya. And once again, shout out to all the members of the channel. Appreciate you guys a ton. If you are not a member and you're thinking about becoming one, maybe click the join button. It's next to the subscribe button. All the details will be in there. I don't know if I would have already had that members exclusive non-rebuild video up yet or not, but be on the lookout for it if it's not. And then also be on the lookout on the 15th for said members only rebuild. Usually those are kind of wackier because it already feels kind of weird about putting content behind, members, but at the same time, it is fair. It's like you're giving a little extra, maybe get a little extra content that wasn't planned anyways. Like I had 0 plans to do Draft Champions, 0 plans to do Gauntlet. The last Gauntlet video did not do well. So all of this is genuinely for members. It would be either members or not at all, simply put. So it's not content that would exist if members didn't exist, simply put. That's really all there is to it, simple as. And if you have any other ideas you want to see, members only, if it's an idea that I'm like, that's not members only, that should be on the main channel, it'll be on the main channel, simply put. Regardless, member or not, appreciate y'all for watching, and see ya.